There's a state in America that sits entirely within the Appalachian Mountains, without a single inch outside of them. This is West Virginia, a place known as the Mountain State. At first glance, you might picture a poor, isolated land of nothing but mountains and winding roads. But the truth is far more complicated than that. West Virginia is the third most forested state in the entire United States. And yet beneath that green canopy, the state once had an era when it produced more than a quarter of all the coal mined in America. This is also the only state ever born simply because it refused to secede. While the rest of the South broke away from the Union, West Virginia broke away from Virginia to stay part of it. The river that runs through this land carries a strangely young name: the New River. But ironically, it's actually one of the oldest rivers on the entire planet. A state born out of paradox, and one that still lives with those paradoxes to this day. Join me as we uncover stories about this land that have rarely ever been told. There's one story about West Virginia that very few Americans ever learned in a history class. It was an armed uprising on such a massive scale that it still holds a record to this very day. The largest armed insurrection on American soil since the Civil War. The story begins with the desperate lives inside the coal company towns. In the early 20th century, almost everything here belonged to the coal company. Housing, stores, even wages, all paid out in a private currency that could only be spent inside the company itself. Miners worked in some of the most dangerous conditions in the entire country, facing cave-ins and toxic gas every single day. When they tried to form a union, the coal companies hired their own private armies to crush them. Tensions reached a breaking point in August of 1921. A pro-union sheriff, Sid Hatfield, was assassinated by company agents right on the courthouse steps. He was shot dead while unarmed, walking alongside his wife. That killing became the spark that ignited years of simmering rage. Thousands of miners from coal towns across the region immediately picked up their rifles and organized into an army. Estimates range from 10,000 to 15,000 men who joined the march. They tied red bandanas around their necks to identify one another in battle, giving rise to the name Redneck Army. Facing them were roughly 3,000 police officers, hired gunmen, and militia armed by the coal companies. The battle broke out at Blair Mountain, raging for days along a ridgeline stretching 15 miles. Machine gun fire echoed through the valleys, alongside homemade bombs left over from World War I. Military aircraft were even deployed to drop bombs on the miners fighting below. This remains one of the rare instances in American history where the U.S. military attacked its own citizens from the air. Eventually, President Warren Harding was forced to send in federal troops to end the conflict. Hundreds of miners were arrested, some even charged with treason. This battle left behind a legacy that could never be erased from the history of the American labor movement. Blair Mountain still stands there today, quiet now deep within the forests of West Virginia. But buried beneath that soil are still thousands of spent shell casings, remnants of a battle nearly lost to memory. Yet that painful history isn't all West Virginia has to tell. Let's leave behind these ridgelines that once echoed with gunfire and step into an entirely different side of West Virginia. A place where nature has quietly healed every wound, and untouched beauty still remains at the heart of the Appalachians. Standing proud in Pendleton County, Seneca Rocks rises like a merciless blade, stabbed deep into the endless forest. This massive wall of Tuscarora sandstone was folded and tilted 90 degrees by terrifying tectonic upheavals. The razor-sharp wonder, resembling a shark fin slicing through the mist, relentlessly beckons those who yearn to conquer the heights. This seemingly immortal cliff is actually a wonder that continues to crack apart day by day. The most devastating event occurred in 1987, when the iconic rock pillar known as the Gendarme fractured and completely collapsed into the bottom of the valley. Its sudden disappearance was a chilling reminder that nature is never eternal, and every moment spent admiring it could be the last. This place is a painful slap in the face for gym climbers, because its sandbagged rating system lists the difficulty far too low. Many confident climbers have broken down in tears and called for rescue because of the slippery rock face, scarce holds, and treacherous protection placement techniques. Even more dangerously, the exposed summit stands like a gigantic lightning rod, ready to unleash deadly lightning on anyone trapped on the wet cliff. Fear of the destructive power of nature gradually fades into the background. Yet the lingering image of the stone wall piercing the sky remains a spine-chilling memory that is difficult to erase. Leaving behind the dangers of the mountain wilderness, the journey will continue rolling onward toward a new land waiting to be unveiled. Located at the strategic confluence of the two major waterways, the Ohio and Little Kanawha Rivers, the city of Parkersburg in Wood County possesses some of the richest river landscapes in West Virginia. The vast blue waters embrace fertile alluvial stretches and reflect lush green groves, creating an expansive natural panorama that captivates visiting travelers. The most alluring and mysterious oasis is Blennerhassett Island Park. Isolated amid the surging waters of the Ohio River, it preserves a magnificent white Palladian mansion, once associated with a 19th century political conspiracy where visitors can ride through the shaded grounds in an old-fashioned horse-drawn carriage. The prosperous legacy of America's first oil boom crystallizes magnificently in the Julia Ann Square Historic District. A succession of grand Victorian brick mansions nestles behind wrought iron fences with intricate floral designs, faithfully recreating the regal era of the old energy magnates. A deeply nostalgic river experience comes from steamboat paddle wheel excursions, departing from the breezy Point Park waterfront. The deep whistle of the vessel echoes across the calm waves, bringing a sense of relaxation as travelers let their thoughts drift, with the peaceful scenery slowly moving toward the distant horizon. The waters at the river confluence glow crimson with sunset before gradually shifting into deep purple as night arrives, opening the way for the night wind to guide travelers toward the next fascinating land. Spreading across Grant, Randolph, and Tucker counties, Dolly Sod's wilderness resembles a distant stretch of northern tundra accidentally scattered across the east. Nature has healed the wounds left by former exploitation, regenerating into an open landscape that glows with the red hues of heath every autumn. The breathtaking scenery of soft peat bogs, stretching endlessly into the distance, easily steals the hearts of those whose footsteps yearn for freedom. Wild vitality rises through stands of red spruce bent beneath sweeping winds, twisting every branch like flags flying proudly. Beneath the gravelly ground, tiny clusters of sundews cling stubbornly to their roots, adding vivid touches to the deep green carpet of moss. The solemn atmosphere suddenly turns magical as the mist clears, revealing a gentle sea of billowing white clouds embracing the deep valleys below. Hidden beneath that magnificent tranquility is an astonishing past, when this wilderness once served as a field training ground during World War II. Today, the traces of war have fallen asleep beneath the soft earth, transforming the plateau into a camping paradise for gazing at the brilliantly glowing Milky Way. Standing amid the vast, unobstructed grasslands, every burden of daily life dissolves, giving way to a feeling of absolute freedom. Gathering the sweeping images of the windswept plateau, the steering wheel turns once again, heading straight toward another magnificent natural masterpiece ahead. The Potomac River flows gently past moss-covered cliffs, reflecting the ancient, solemn character of the town of Shepherdstown in Jefferson County. One of the oldest settlements in West Virginia wears a rare sense of tranquility, where the shade of ancient oak trees covers the red brick pathways steeped in the passage of time. Standing prominently on a high, rocky outcrop overlooking the water, the James Rumsey Monument recalls the world-shaking scientific achievement of 1787. It was here along this stretch of river that the first water-powered mechanical boat was successfully tested, marking a turning point that carried human water transportation into a new era of engines. The academic atmosphere of Shepherd University has breathed youthful vitality into the historic town since 1871. Brick and stone buildings stand among a campus shaded by towering mature trees, creating an intellectual foundation that has nurtured generations of scholars amid the peaceful landscape of the valley. Cultural vitality flourishes along historic German Street, lined with independent bookstores and cozy cafes. Each summer, the Contemporary American Theater Festival attracts theater enthusiasts from across the nation to enjoy lively performances on the steps of historic stone buildings. The river breeze rustles through the shaded canopy along the rocky shore, signaling a new and fascinating leg of the journey awaiting travelers who continue onward. Carved deep into the rugged terrain of Fayette County, Babcock State Park unfolds like a pristine painting that steals away the very notion of time. More than 4,000 acres of rolling mountain forest embrace Glade Creek as it surges through boulders. The raw beauty swallows every trace of noise, leaving behind only the primal heartbeat of the wilderness. Guarding the heart of the stream, the Glade Creek grist mill rises proudly, like a weathered wooden masterpiece. Its wheel turns endlessly, throwing up white foam that clings to rock walls covered in green moss and rhododendrons. When autumn arrives, the valley bursts into flames beneath a blazing canopy of maples, weaving a mesmerizing ribbon of scenery. Creeping along the narrow trail suspended beside the water's edge, the chill of the gorge brushes against the skin, stirring the desire to venture onward. The earthy scent of decaying wood blends with the morning mist to create an intoxicating fragrance that washes away the dust of civilization. Before the relentless turning motion, the mind is instantly hypnotized by the eternal rhythm orchestrated by nature. Drinking in the haunting atmosphere beside the surging current, the fire of wanderlust burns brightly, urging the traveler straight toward a new mysterious destination. The strategic promontory jutting out at the confluence of the Potomac and Shenandoah rivers shapes the picturesque beauty of mountains and waterways surrounding the town of Harper's Ferry in Jefferson County. This easternmost point of West Virginia proudly possesses a magnificent natural panorama where surging river waters cut through the towering Blue Ridge Mountains to create one of the most spectacular gorges on the East Coast. The most expansive view opens from Jefferson Rock, a sandstone outcrop perched high on the mountainside. This legendary viewpoint, once praised by Thomas Jefferson as a priceless masterpiece of nature, allows travelers to take in the entire ribbon of water winding through moss-covered floodplains and rocky rapids churning with white foam. Blending into the magnificent natural setting is the legendary Appalachian Trail, winding through the town. The route, shaded by forest oaks and red maples, guides hikers along the edge of sheer cliffs, where cool moisture from the confluence continuously rises to dispel the fatigue of the journey. The imprint of history blends deeply into the landscape through the stone John Brown Fort and rows of historic 19th century streets. The somber brick and stone walls nestle beneath the foot of precipitous cliffs, creating an enchanting historic accent amid the majestic wilderness of mountains and waterways. The sunset gilds the waters at the confluence, before gradually fading behind the Blue Ridge Mountains, giving way to moonlight illuminating the next magnificent routes of exploration. Perched on the edge of the sheer sandstone cliffs of New River Gorge, the town of Fayetteville in Fayette County firmly holds its title as West Virginia's premier adventure capital. Here, the rustic character of its old mining heritage blends magnificently with the free spirit of those who yearn to conquer the heights of untamed nature. Blending into the gorge as a man-made wonder is the New River Gorge Bridge, a steel arch bridge standing nearly 900 feet above the river. This single-span steel arch structure, among the longest of its kind in the Western Hemisphere, opens up sweeping views of the river below and attracts tens of thousands of extreme parachuting enthusiasts during the annual Bridge Day Festival. At the bottom of the deep gorge, the ancient New River tears through massive sandstone formations to create a spectacular chain of raging Class 5 rapids. The force of millions of years of flowing water transforms the narrow channel into an ultimate battleground for world-class whitewater rafters. Along the rim of the valley are thousands of renowned climbing routes on Nuttall sandstone cliffs with exceptional grip. The sheer rocky outcrops, standing exposed amid the mountain clouds, challenge climbers, while also opening up spectacular viewpoints of brilliant sunsets reflected over the endless green canopy of the Appalachian forest. The evening mist rises and envelops the base of the enormous steel bridge, clearing the way for the night wind to carry the traveler toward the next wilderness. Reigning over the gently rolling hills of the Allegheny Plateau, the prosperous character of the city of Beckley in Raleigh County shines as one of the most vibrant cultural and economic centers in southern West Virginia. The year-round breezes of the highland climate refresh the urban environment, revealing a harmonious landscape where contemporary life blends with rolling mountains and forests. A truly unique underground experience unfolds at the historic Beckley Exhibition Coal Mine, which operated from the early 20th century. An old electric train carries travelers through jet-black coal seams hundreds of feet underground, authentically recreating the legendary mining world that once sustained the entire Appalachian region. The city's vibrant creative centerpiece is the Tamarack Arts Complex, with its red roof curving like the petals of a gigantic flower. This space honors thousands of exquisite arts and crafts masterpieces alongside the finest local cuisine, transforming it into a proud symbol of the Highland region's cultural identity. Perched on a precipitous cliff overlooking the New River Gorge is the Cliffside Amphitheater, an outdoor theater surrounded by pristine forest. Artistic performances beneath a star-filled sky blend with the sound of wind whispering through green pine groves, weaving a poetic setting for enjoyment amid the vast openness of nature. The city lights glow as blue mist slowly blankets the hilly valley, clearing the way for the journey to continue toward the next spectacular scenic wonders. Rooted deep in the mountains of Pocahontas County, Cranberry Glades Botanical Area reveals a spectacular ecological anomaly where an Arctic tundra climate survives in the southern United States. The place is like a time machine, preserving intact vegetation from the Ice Age 10,000 years ago because the low-lying basin continuously traps cold air throughout the year. With the haunting, earthy scent of the bog still clinging to the hem of our clothes, the journey once again cuts through the wind toward another wonder calling fiercely from the horizon. Nestled within the Tygart Valley and surrounded by the towering Allegheny Mountains, the mountain hub of Elkins in Randolph County opens onto a magnificent natural landscape. This gateway to Monongahela National Forest possesses fresh air and vast expanses of pristine forest. This highland region perfectly combines untouched wilderness with the simple rhythm of life of a mountain town. The 19th century railroad legacy, established by Senators Davis and Elkins, laid the foundation for prosperity throughout the entire region. Davis and Elkins College sits on a hillside, with the Hallihurst and Graceland mansions displaying magnificent Victorian architecture. The historic Elkins Depot, built in 1908, still stands majestically as an enduring symbol of the logging and coal mining era. The Durbin and Greenbrier Valley Railroad carries visitors back in time through deep gorges along rugged riverbanks. The Mountain State Forest Festival attracts thousands of visitors each autumn to enjoy folk culture and traditional music. The Augusta Heritage Center steadfastly preserves the distinctive folk melodies of the Appalachian region. Brilliant golden sunset sinks behind the green pine-covered mountain ridge as the mournful whistle of a steam train echoes from the deep valley. The journey through the mountain heritage of Randolph County temporarily comes to an end, making way for new adventures of discovery. Stretching along the rolling hillsides beside the Monongahela River, the landscape of the city of Morgantown in Monongalia County reveals a captivating beauty born from harmonious contrasts. The blend of lush green hills and gently drifting water has created a natural setting filled with vitality in the heart of the valley of northern West Virginia. The city's pristine green lung lies entirely within the core Arboretum Botanical Garden, spanning nearly 100 acres along the water's edge. trails shaded by ancient trees guide travelers through brilliant carpets of wildflowers and dense woodland clearings, where cool moisture continuously rises from the river to purify the air throughout all 4 seasons. Reigning atop the high hill is the historic Woodburn Hall architectural complex, with its ancient red brick bell tower standing majestically against the sky. The view from the sloping hillside campus opens onto a panoramic vista of the picturesque urban basin, where the gentle river reflects the brilliant colors of the forest as its leaves change each autumn. Along the water's edge runs the Caperton Trail Riverside Walking Route, its level path connecting a series of breezy boat docks. The tree-shaded walkway creates an ideal setting for watching flocks of waterfowl soaring overhead and feeling the refreshing breeze sweep away the hurried pace of everyday life. The ringing bells from the hilltop tower gradually fade into the drifting evening mist above the river, clearing the way for the sunset to guide the traveler toward the next fascinating land. Stretching endlessly across the rolling Allegheny Mountains, Monongahela National Forest rises like a vast green empire encompassing the entire eastern slope of West Virginia. This forest blanket of more than 900,000 acres conceals one of the most complex and diverse ecosystems on the continent. Anyone who ventures into this place will be overwhelmed by the surging vitality radiating from countless interwoven layers of foliage. Once severely devastated by logging, this land has rebounded powerfully to reclaim its majestic mantle of primeval woodland. A dense network of rivers and streams winds through deep gorges, feeding a succession of waterfalls that churn white foam day and night. This rugged terrain has created a dense ecological labyrinth, stirring the desire for exploration in those whose footsteps never tire. Deeper within the vast forest, nature's symphony suddenly becomes more vivid with the presence of powerful black bears and bald eagles ruling the skies. When the weather turns cold, the entire landscape instantly bursts into brilliant flames as changing maple leaves paint the east in vivid color. When night falls, the wilderness takes on an otherworldly beauty as the crystal clear sky reveals the pristine, shimmering Milky Way. Carrying with us the pure breath and rustling sounds of the majestic wilderness, the road ahead is ready to sweep us into an entirely new dimension of travel. Engulfing the valley of Nicholas County, Summersville Lake is the largest man-made freshwater lake in West Virginia, with a surface area of more than 2,700 acres. This enormous body of water was created by the second largest rock-filled dam in the United States, rising nearly 394 feet to ruthlessly imprison billions of gallons of water amid the majestic Appalachian Mountains. With visibility reaching depths of up to 46 feet, the lake proudly bears the nickname Little Bahamas of the East. Its depths form a unique freshwater diving paradise in the region, where divers can freely explore mysterious underwater gorges and the wreck of a rescue vessel deliberately sunk deep beneath the water. Imprisoned amid endless layers of gray Appalachian clouds, Spruce Knob in Pendleton County exists like a fragment of Canada, thrusting its skin-cutting cold up to an elevation of 4,863 feet. The 300-million-year-old Pottsville sandstone mass allows West Virginia's highest peak to stand proudly against erosion. Despite the absence of glaciation, the harsh freeze and thaw cycle has still managed to carve eerie polygonal rock structures into the ground. Stepping onto this rooftop, travelers are surrounded by northern red spruce forests, twisted and bent as they struggle against nature. Under brutal winds and 180 inches of snow, countless tree trunks are forced sharply sideways or shrink into bizarre, stunted thickets. From the observation tower, layer upon layer of blue-gray Allegheny ridges stretches into the distance, embracing the misshapen young trees within a landscape both magnificent and desolate. With a bitter Newfoundland-like climate, this rocky, acidic land is a northern ecological oasis, preserving the lives of 240 rare species. Beneath yellow birches and thick moss, the survival of snowshoe hares, cheat mountain salamanders, and flying squirrels is relentlessly tested. Even the spruce knob three-toothed snail must struggle to adapt to the bone-piercing cold, turning this place into a priceless, natural heritage. Closing the journal page on this kingdom of frost, the compass turns once again, leading us straight toward another unexpectedly wild coordinate. The mysterious final refrain of Hardy County lies hidden beneath nearly 4,000 acres of forest known as Lost River State Park. The historical imprint remains visible in the original log house built by the Lee family in the early 19th century, resting patiently against the shadow of the vast forest like a witness to time. The most spectacular point is the Cranny Crow rock outcrop atop Big Ridge, at an elevation of more than 3,182 feet. From the edge of the sandstone cliff, travelers can admire sweeping views across 5 surrounding counties, taking in layer upon layer of rolling Appalachian ridges, undulating like blue-green waves all the way to the horizon. The peaceful panorama of the cloud-shadowed valley gently recedes behind, giving way to the vehicle of wanderlust rolling leisurely toward a new magnificent wonder. The dark waters of the Tygart Valley River surge violently as they enter Valley Falls State Park, a preserve covering more than 1,100 acres. The terrain constricts the river, forcing it over 4 consecutive tiers of sandstone falls extending for nearly 0.6 miles, unleashing the raw energy of the wilderness into towering columns of white spray that roar throughout the gorge. The furious rock rapid structure transforms the riverbed into a sanctuary for extreme kayaking, with challenging stretches of Class 4 whitewater. Icy spray combines with countless, violent underwater currents to create a brutal test, drawing expert paddlers from far and wide to challenge the primal power of nature. The oxygen-rich waters and oak maple forest sustain one of the region's richest wild ecosystems. The surging river is the domain of smallmouth bass and playful river otters, while sandstone ledges shaded by mountain rhododendrons become hunting grounds for bald eagles and numerous rare salamander species. The network of riverside trails opens views of railroad tracks winding along the towering sandstone cliffs. The echoing whistles of freight trains blend with the majestic roar of the falls, leading travelers into cool shade beneath ancient hemlocks and dew-soaked fern beds. The misty chill rising from the obscured river lingers with every step, quietly marking the way for the wheels to continue toward new latitudes. A razor-sharp sandstone mass pierces the sky like a fossilized spine, defining the singular identity of Pinnacle Rock State Park in Mercer County. This geological wonder belongs to the St. Clair Sandstone Formation rising more than 2,953 feet, where millions of years of erosion have sculpted the steeply tilted rock into a towering natural wall stretching nearly 0.6 miles. The majestic outcrop stands along the main route of the National Coal Heritage Area, linking 2 distinctive geographic regions of West Virginia. The imposing presence of the cliff once served as an unchanging navigational landmark for frontier traders, witnessing the rise of mining and railroads throughout the valley. Workers painstakingly cut each step from native stone along the steep slope and built a sturdy observation platform from massive rock, opening a safe route for travelers to conquer the rugged summit of the cliff. Nestled beneath the jagged sandstone mass is the calm surface of Jimmy Lewis Lake, covering nearly 15 acres and creating a striking contrast. The blue-green water surrounded by rhododendron and pine forest offers a peaceful fishing setting, where mountain winds passing through the rock gaps cleanse away every trace of noise. The sharp silhouette of the stone tower gradually sinks into the rearview mirror, giving way to the familiar road markings that continue guiding the vehicle of wanderlust toward a new realm of discovery. Perched on the edge of the gorge spanning Monongalia and Preston counties, Cooper's Rock State Forest covers nearly 13,000 acres and is one of the largest state forests in West Virginia. Massive sandstone formations eroded over millions of years have created a sheer natural observation platform jutting into open space at an elevation of 1,312 feet, embracing the surging Cheat River far below at the bottom of the gorge. The name of the rocky gorge originates from the legend of a fugitive barrel maker who fled an arrest warrant and hid for many years in a rock shelter here. He secretly cut oak trees around the gorge to make barrels and sold them to local residents, turning this rugged place into a safe refuge from the pursuit of the law. Tucking away the majestic memory beside the windswept sandstone cliffs, the desire for conquest blazes fiercely once again, urging our footsteps straight toward a new latitude. The dark valley of Pocahontas County is torn open by the force crashing down from Falls of Hills Creek, a scenic area covering more than 110 acres within Monongahela National Forest. The rugged terrain here is the result of a prehistoric stream capture, when Hills Creek cut backward through the mountainside and diverted its course, creating 3 successive tiers of waterfalls that hurl white foam into the deep gorge below. This natural masterpiece operates through a brutal mechanism of geological self-erosion. The raging current continuously hollows out the softer shale beneath, forcing the harder sandstone layer above to crack and collapse, gradually pushing the waterfall edge backward. The climax is the third waterfall, nearly 66 feet high, ranking among the tallest free-falling waterfalls in West Virginia. The The sandstone architecture spanning Greenbrier and Pocahontas counties reveals the magnificent stone city known as Beartown State Park, covering more than 100 acres on the slopes of Droop Mountain. The massive Droop sandstone formations, more than 300 million years old, create a prehistoric landscape rising like rows of stone buildings amid the vast Appalachian wilderness. The maze was formed by a unique phenomenon of geological gravitational sliding. As the softer shale layer beneath eroded away, 1,000-ton sandstone blocks above cracked apart and slid downslope, tearing the ground into a system of deep ravines, vertical fissures, and squared-off stone avenues, resembling an urban layout. The name Beartown comes from the hibernation dens of black bears, after early settlers discovered an intricate network of cavities beneath the rock crevices. The depths of the gorge maintain a cool, humid microclimate year-round, where winter ice and snow can remain intact in the shade until as late as July. The park was preserved through a memorial donation honoring a soldier who died in the Vietnam War. An elevated wooden boardwalk more than 2,625 feet long winds through the maze, allowing travelers to admire ancient fern beds and mysterious sandstone fissures without damaging the heritage. The mysterious echoes of the stone city linger gently in memory, beckoning the vehicle of wanderlust to roll onward toward the next magnificent destination. A magnificent velvet curtain draped across the valley of Fayette County conceals a tragic chapter of labor history known as Hawk's Nest State Park, covering nearly 300 acres and embracing New River Gorge. A natural sandstone overlook projects outward at an elevation of more than 755 feet, commanding a sweeping view across the deep green basin where the ancient river is constricted beneath the foot of the cliffs. The name Hawk's Nest comes from flocks of red-tailed hawks and ospreys that chose the steep cliffs as nesting grounds for centuries. This strategic location was surveyed in 1812 by Supreme Court Chief Justice John Marshall in an effort to open a trade route connecting the East Coast with the Ohio River. The pristine heartland of Pocahontas County embraces Watauga State Park, the largest state park in West Virginia, covering more than 10,000 acres. Bearing a Cherokee name meaning star-filled waters, this ancient land nestles beside the gentle Greenbrier River, preserving the untouched wilderness of the Appalachians in its entirety. The park is recognized as an international dark sky park thanks to its nearly absolute natural darkness, untouched by urban light pollution. When night falls, the dense black velvet sky reveals the brilliantly glowing Milky Way to the naked eye, transforming the heavens into a universe of stars that beckons astronomers. The forest preserves its historical imprint through more than 30 rustic log cabins built by the Civilian Conservation Corps in the 1930s from fieldstone and forest timber. These handcrafted structures from the Great Depression era hide beneath the canopy of ancient trees, bearing witness to humanity's efforts to restore the wilderness. The park's ecosystem is highlighted by the magical synchronized dance of fireflies in early summer, when the glowing insects flash in a shared rhythm while seeking mates. Together with rare peat bogs, the preserve becomes an oasis, sustaining black bears, white-tailed deer, and numerous woodland bird species. As the mysterious dance of light quietly dissolves into the morning mist, the vehicle of wanderlust rolls gently onward in search of a new magnificent horizon. Hidden among the highlands of Tucker County, Canaan Valley reveals the beauty of the highest wetland valley east of the Mississippi River, at an elevation of more than 3,199 feet. Nestled among the mountains, this basin creates a natural frost trap, keeping temperatures consistently lower than the surrounding areas and bringing winter earlier than almost anywhere else. The vast plain instantly transforms into a mesmerizing white skiing paradise, drawing travelers eager to conquer its icy slopes. Drawing our gaze away from the sea of drifting clouds blanketing the way, the restless heartbeat of wanderlust once again urges us to turn toward another spectacular horizon. The flow from the shaded ravines of Webster County nourishes Holly River State Park, the second largest state park in West Virginia, covering more than 8,000 acres. The area contains a fascinating hydrological paradox, as the left fork and right fork, each stretching for dozens of miles, merge to give birth to the main Holly River, one of the shortest rivers in the state at only nearly 3.1 miles long. This magnificent land stands as evidence of a miraculous ecological recovery after the logging devastation of the early 20th century. During the Great Depression, the federal government purchased the barren, denuded hills and entrusted the Civilian Conservation Corps with patiently replanting millions of trees, transforming the ruined landscape into one of the most luxuriant green lungs in the East. The scenic centerpiece is Upper Falls, where white foaming water plunges into a deep natural pool so clear that the gravel bottom is visible. Mineral-rich water flows across sandstone ledges, creating a cool microclimate that becomes an ideal habitat for populations of native brook trout, thriving beneath the shade of massive rhododendron stands. The gentle echoes of the green valley slowly recede behind, beckoning the vehicle of wanderlust to roll leisurely toward a new magnificent horizon. The Middle Fork, flowing through Barber and Upshur counties, embraces Audra State Park, a preserve of nearly 400 acres renowned for its riverbed strewn with magnificent sandstone boulders. On calm summer days, the enormous rocks transform the shallow, crystal-clear water into beautiful natural swimming pools, where travelers can float and relax in cool water clear all the way to the bottom. The tranquility disappears during the spring rainy season, when rising water levels turn the valley into a treacherous whitewater paddling destination. The raging current roars through narrow rock passages, creating a chain of whitewater rapids reaching Class 4 difficulty, challenging the courage and skill of accomplished kayakers. The most impressive geological masterpiece is the rock arch of Alum Cave, a projecting sandstone formation that creates a natural vaulted roof sheltering the sloping trail. In the 19th century, local residents and Civil War soldiers mined alum minerals crystallized on the ceiling of the rock vault for medicinal use and for making gunpowder. Along the cliff runs a system of elevated wooden walkways suspended between the cave arch and the surging river below. The distinctive design leads through stands of rhododendrons and dew-soaked green moss, opening dramatic views of the process by which flowing water has carved the sandstone over millions of years. The song, blending tranquility with primal power, slowly recedes behind, beckoning the vehicle of wanderlust to roll onward toward a new magnificent horizon. The name Pipestem Resort State Park comes from a hollow-stemmed plant once used by early people to make smoking pipes, and the park covers more than 4,000 acres across Summers and Mercer counties. Perched on the edge of a sandstone gorge, at an elevation of more than 2,887 feet, the main resort opens onto sweeping views across the entire pristine Bluestone River Valley. The most spectacular experience is the aerial tram carrying visitors across a drop of more than 984 feet through the forest canopy to the bottom of the gorge. The tram is the only means of reaching the second resort beside the remote riverbank, a place isolated from road traffic and accessible only by cableway or by hiking along the mountainside. The depths of the gorge, were once home to the prosperous town of Lilly in the early 20th century, with a busy school and church. The dam construction project forced the entire population to relocate, turning the former settlement into an abandoned valley where old-growth forest and moss completely covered the traces of human habitation. The gorge is surrounded by the pristine ecological corridor along the Bluestone River, sustaining white-tailed deer, wild turkeys, and river otters. Cool water flowing over ancient sandstone creates a rich habitat for smallmouth bass, attracting bald eagles that frequently spread their wings overhead in search of prey. The interplay between civilization and ruins gradually fades in the rearview mirror, clearing the way for the wheels to roll toward a new realm of discovery. The lilting sound of water spilling over sandstone ledges defines the charm of Twin Falls Resort State Park in Wyoming County. The park features the remarkable phenomenon of the Twin Marsh Fork and Black Fork waterfalls, cascading only a few hundred meters apart as they cross ancient rock formations before plunging into cool, natural pools beneath the dense forest canopy. The most profound human imprint is the Bowers family farm, preserved intact since the 1830s on a windswept hilltop. The vegetation along the ravines supports vast stands of mountain rhododendron and mountain laurel that burst into brilliant bloom in early summer. Maple and oak forests combined with mist-soaked rock ledges create a mild microclimate year-round, providing a safe habitat where white-tailed deer, flying squirrels, and native salamanders can thrive. Perched on the mountainside is a resort lodge paired with an 18-hole golf course winding through the valley. The murmuring waters of the coal country slowly fade into silence, giving way to the steady turn of the steering wheel toward a new spectacular destination. A massive concrete structure blocking the flow of the New River gave birth to the waters known as Bluestone State Park in Summers County. Bluestone Dam, completed after World War II to control catastrophic flooding, inadvertently created the second largest artificial lake in West Virginia, with a surface area of more than 2,000 acres. The calm lakebed of today was once a fertile valley of ancient settlements and a trade route used by indigenous peoples. When the dam project was completed, the remains of a 19th century farming town were permanently submerged beneath the lake, turning the depths into a silent museum of memories, covered by blue-green water. The vast aquatic ecosystem has transformed the area into a renowned destination for fishing and water sports. The deep, mineral-rich water provides an ideal habitat for bass, giant catfish, and brook trout, attracting kayakers and recreational boaters seeking open space among the surrounding mountains. The lakeside forest creates a safe corridor for rare birds of prey. Bald eagles and ospreys frequently soar above the lake hunting fish, while dense woodland clinging to the sandstone slopes provides shelter for white-tailed deer and migrating wild ducks. The enormous mirror reflecting the blue sky slowly glides past the window, beckoning the vehicle of wanderlust to keep rolling toward a new magnificent wonder. The brutal hydraulic display stretched across the ancient New River gives Sandstone Falls in Summers County its singular status. This towering wall of water extends up to 1,500 feet wide, setting the record as the waterfall with the greatest overall width in the entire national park. A sudden geological fault drops the riverbed by 10 to 25 feet, forcing millions of gallons of water to crash into the deep chasm below. This spectacular plunge officially ends the tranquil flow of the upper reaches, driving the violent current into its journey, carving through the dark New River Gorge. The damp, rocky shoreline is the reigning kingdom of the proud Appalachian mountain rhododendron. These rhododendron thickets root deeply into impoverished sandstone crevices and burst into vivid pink-purple blossoms that defy the blinding spray, weaving a blanket of vegetation that contrasts sharply with the roaring white waterfall day and night. Reigning above the swirling world of foam is the powerful fish-hunting eagle. From precarious dead branches along the cliffside, this proud predator repeatedly dives into the turbulent waters, with perfect precision, to seize its prey in the shallows below, affirming the supreme power of survival in this perilous land. Bringing to a close the roaring echo of the majestic wall of water at Sandstone Falls, the journey of discovery once again opens the way for travelers to seek out the next impressive natural wonder. The fury of the current that once spread terror throughout the Monongahela watershed was finally brought completely under control by the historic Tygart Lake Dam in 1938. The massive concrete structure built by the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers locked back the surging waters, creating a reservoir covering more than 1,700 acres and stretching 10 miles across Taylor and Barber counties. This artificial rhythm exposes steep, bare sandstone terraces, turning the valley into a rugged geological model in complete contrast to the vast blue-green expanse of summer. Thanks to its exceptional depth and the rare clarity of the mountain water, the lake has become a sanctuary for scuba diving and water sports. The deep waters attract wind-driven sailboats, kayaks, and anglers searching for populations of largemouth bass and giant catfish. Surrounding the lake is a rich, temperate hardwood forest with shaded roots lined by dogwoods, maples, and ancient oaks. The shoreline vegetation provides safe habitat for white-tailed deer and bald eagles, creating a cool, fresh atmosphere that cleanses the mind. The proud silhouette of the hydroelectric structure slowly dissolves into the evening mist, giving way to the vehicle of wanderlust steadily turning toward a new land. Spreading across more than 9,000 acres amid the steep rocky slopes of Kanawha County, the forest stands as a symbol of the remarkable regenerative vitality of Appalachia. Once a bustling site of coal mining and logging, this place has shed its industrial dust to once again don the vast, deep green mantle of old-growth hardwood forest. A network of more than 25 miles of trails winds along the flow of Davis Creek, leading through damp, moss-covered sandstone cliffs. Each spring, the valley floor bursts into color with the brilliant blooming of dozens of native wildflower species such as mountain magnolias, terrestrial orchids, bell lilies, and woodland orchids beneath the shade of ancient oak trunks. Abandoned mine shafts and moss-covered stone embankments along the walking paths stand as open historical evidence amid nature. Wild vegetation encroaches upon and envelops the remnants of old engineering works, creating a contemplative convergence between the human past of exploitation and the enduring power of nature. Abundant moisture from the headwater streams makes this place an ideal home for the spotted salamander, along with 19 other native salamander species that shelter beneath the leaf litter and decaying logs. The presence of these sensitive amphibians is the most precise measure of the forest's purity. The cool, damp mist of the forest gorge gradually dissipates with each turn of the wheels, giving way to open skies as the smooth ribbon of asphalt carries the journey onward toward a new land. The enormous semicircular sandstone arch creates the singular allure of Cathedral Falls in Fayette County. This natural structure perfectly evokes the majesty of an ancient cathedral amid the wilderness, where the waterfall plunges from a steep cliff to form one of the most captivating natural fountains in West Virginia. Cane Branch makes a spectacular plunge from a height of more than 60 feet, cascading across the upper Nuttall Shale ledges before joining the New River. Located beside legendary U.S. Route 60, the tiered flow throws up clouds of white spray, releasing cool mist that completely envelops the moss-covered sedimentary rock basin. Beneath the perpetual damp mist, hardy mountain ferns cling tenaciously to the vertical sandstone fissures. Each lush green frond reaches outward to absorb the pure moisture, creating a soft velvet carpet of vegetation that embraces the ancient cliff and purifies the surrounding air. Hidden beneath the icy, water-covered rocks are agile Appalachian stream salamanders. These creatures, indicators of pristine water, quietly forage in the calm pools at the foot of the falls, completing an enchanting ecological portrait entirely separated from the noisy world beyond the stone arch. Leaving behind the drifting mist and gentle sounds of Cathedral Falls, the traveler's vehicle rolls onward once again, carrying visitors toward the next impressive natural wonders. The slopes of Cates Mountain rise like a green rampart around Greenbrier State Forest, covering more than 5,100 acres in Greenbrier County. The forest displays the richness of temperate oak and pine woodland, where trails climb to elevations above 3,281 feet, and open sweeping views across Greenbrier Valley fading into blue mist. Workers painstakingly built rustic log cabins, a historic fire lookout tower on the mountaintop, and a swimming pool made from local stone, carving an old-fashioned character that blends perfectly into the silent wilderness. The distinctive feature that gives the forest its reputation is the rare Cates mountain clover. This endemic plant grows only on the dry shale bands of the Appalachian Mountains, rooting deeply into barren gravel to unfold pure white blossoms, creating an extraordinary biological feat. The limestone terrain opens into a paradise of challenging mountain biking trails. The paths weave through rock fissures and cool pine forests, creating habitat for flying squirrels, red-headed woodpeckers, and wild turkeys searching noisily for food beneath the forest litter. Leaving behind the open space atop Cates Mountain, the journey continues to open the way for travelers to seek out the next unfamiliar wonders. Established in 1924, Seneca State Forest is the oldest state forest in West Virginia, covering nearly 12,000 acres in Pocahontas County. The place captivates with its pristine, contemplative beauty, where the Greenbrier River Valley embraces the calm waters of 4-acre Seneca Lake, reflecting endless layers of conifers amid the secluded mountains. The most distinctive experience is the Thorny Mountain Fire Lookout Tower, more than 66 feet tall, which has been converted into a remarkable overnight lodging on the mountaintop. Running along the western edge of the forest is the famous Greenbrier River Trail, converted from an old railroad bed. The shaded route winds beside crystal clear water, becoming an outdoor paradise for hikers and cyclists to admire moss-covered cliffs and historic wooden bridges faded by time. The understory beneath hemlocks and white pines sustains one of the richest temperate forest ecosystems in the region. The mineral-rich river is the domain of bass and river otters, while the dense forested slopes provide habitat for wild turkeys, white-tailed deer, and American black bears. Leaving behind for now the contemplative beauty of the century-old Seneca Forest, the journey continues to open the way for travelers toward the next remarkable horizons. The enormous gash slicing through the Allegheny Plateau gave birth to the fierce aquatic battleground known as Cheat Canyon in Preston County. Sheer sandstone cliffs rising more than 1,200 feet plunge toward the bottom of the gorge, forming a breathtakingly narrow channel that transforms the Cheat River into a chain of raging Class 5 rapids. The treacherous terrain and brutally swirling waters turn this place into one of the premier wilderness whitewater rafting sanctuaries in the East. The furious kinetic energy of the current pounds against scattered massive boulders, pushing the courage and skill of adventurous paddlers to the absolute limit amid towering limestone wall. Dominating the precipitous rocky slopes are vast expanses of resilient mountain laurel shrubs. This broadleaf vegetation grows densely into natural ramparts, clinging tightly to the thin, nutrient-poor soil, bursting into clusters of pure white and pink flowers that stand in stark contrast to the ferocity of the abyss below. Hidden deep beneath layers of damp, dew-soaked moss is the rare endemic cheat mountain salamander. This ancient nocturnal creature silently clings to the moist crevices of the sandstone cliffs to survive, becoming a strictly protected ecological treasure within the heart of the canyon. The paddles are laid aside as the rushing current gradually grows calm, giving way to the sound of pines whispering across mist-shrouded plateaus, awaiting the footsteps of explorers. The magnificent curtain of white water cascading through the valley of Mercer County forms the soul of Brush Creek Falls. A 33-foot geological drop sends the entire pristine current over a 50-foot wide sandstone ledge, creating a spectacular tiered waterfall before merging into the Bluestone River watershed. The continuously condensing mist creates a cool, humid microclimate, enveloping the ancient basin of rock debris. The gentle kinetic energy of the water erodes the sedimentary layers into smooth, natural stone terraces, opening up a pristine ecological space completely isolated from the bustle of urban life. Along the moisture-drenched rocky banks lies the colorful realm of the proud Appalachian yellow goldenrod. The bright yellow flowers root deeply in the fertile humus, reaching toward the fine spray and illuminating the damp rocky slopes with their radiant, vibrant beauty amid the vast wilderness. Lurking at the edge of the calm water beneath the falls is the small, agile green heron. With its patiently motionless stance and precise strike that pierces the water's surface to seize streamfish, this skillful predator completes the peaceful wilderness scene at the bottom of the deep gorge. As the veil of mist falls behind along the steep mountain pass, the roar of the bluestone lowlands gives way to the whistling wind across the rugged heights beckoning on the horizon. Reigning over the barren summit of Dollysods, Bear Rocks Preserve reveals one of the most exposed landscapes in Tucker County at an elevation of nearly 4,000 feet. There is absolutely no shade for shelter here, only ancient white-gray quartz sandstone scattered beneath the open sky, taking the full force of every roaring gale that has carved its rugged and proud beauty. A striking testament to nature's relentless pressure is the unique population of flag-shaped red spruce. Each branch battered by westerly winds has bent and grown in only one direction like a living sculpture, creating a haunting visual impression across the endless windswept landscape. This isolated subarctic ecosystem provides a safe refuge for broad-winged hawks and northern migratory species escaping the bitter winter cold. Every autumn, plateau transforms into a brilliant sea of deep red, stretching all the way to the horizon of Canaan Valley. The crimson tones of wild blueberries contrast powerfully with the gray sandstone, creating a magnificent natural painting that defies every conventional standard. Leaving behind the roaring winds across the rocky slopes of bare rocks, the journey of discovery once again opens the way for travelers to seek out the next unfamiliar natural wonders. Hidden along the banks of the North River in Hampshire County, Ice Mountain Preserve appears like a geological wonder that defies the laws of nature. This strange, icy microclimate transforms the foot of the mountain into a refuge for Ice Age vegetation. The cold soil sustains populations of dwarf birch, prickly ferns, and Arctic reindeer lichen that cling tenaciously to the ground, portraying an ancient biological landscape preserved intact through tens of thousands of years of changes on Earth. Crossing the dew-soaked slope, the trail leads travelers upward to the towering Raven Rocks overlook. From the precarious rock ledge, the view opens completely across the graceful bend of the river and the rolling, mist-shrouded hills of the Appalachian Mountains. The rugged cliff environment creates a sanctuary for bald eagles and red-tailed hawks. Each majestic sweep of their wings cuts through the open sky, blending with the sound of pines, whispering through the wilderness and honoring the strictly protected pristine beauty of the forest. Bidding farewell to the mysterious current of frigid air rising from deep within the rocks and the precious ancient botanical landscape, the traveler's vehicle rolls onward once again, continuing toward the enchanting roads ahead. Hidden deep beneath Greenbrier County, Lost World Caverns affirms its status as a national natural landmark with a magnificent underground maze carved more than 200 feet into ancient limestone bedrock. Discovered in 1942, this wonder opens into a spectacular geological realm extending more than a mile, with cavernous chambers plunging into darkness and challenging the limits of human imagination. The most overwhelming visual centerpiece is the 30-ton monolithic snowy chandelier stalactite hanging proudly in midair. Together with a stalagmite column rising 80 feet, this mineral masterpiece bears witness to the persistent power of accumulation through millions of years of continuous formation by calcium-rich underground water droplets. Passing through the enclosed archway, travelers immediately descend into a microclimate frozen at a constant 52 degrees Fahrenheit year-round. This realm of absolute silence once served as a natural coffin that perfectly preserved the fossilized skeleton of the giant prehistoric cave bear Arctidus before its extinction. Directly above the mysterious limestone ceiling lies the lush green grassland of Greenbrier Valley Farms, bursting with life beneath the sunlight. The stark contrast between the vibrant rhythm of life above ground and the eternal stillness in the depths below weaves a profoundly cinematic portrait of nature. Bringing the exploration of the Great Stone Labyrinth to a close, the remnants of prehistory gradually recede behind, giving way to the spectacular beauty of the next destination. The surging amber-colored water transforms Douglas Falls in Tucker County into a mesmerizing optical illusion in the heart of the valley. The 35-foot vertical plunge on the North Fork of the Blackwater River has carved deeply into the valley, sending mineral-laden water crashing into a gorge strewn with boulders stained in blazing shades of yellow and orange. The unusually fiery tones covering the base of the falls originate from the legacy of the abandoned 19th century Albert Coke ovens upstream. Acid mine sediment rich in iron oxide has seeped through over the years, unintentionally turning every sandstone slab beneath the falls into a one-of-a-kind work of art, colored by rust. In striking contrast to the metallic-colored water stands, a population of ancient eastern hemlocks shading both banks. Their deep green, needle-covered branches spread resiliently over the steep slopes, protecting them from erosion and filtering the air around the vividly mineral-colored basin. Hidden beneath the damp rocks along the deep red current are agile Appalachian red salamanders. With bright red skin marked by mysterious black spots, these amphibians quietly hunt insects in the cool, mist-laden microclimate, affirming their enduring resilience despite the mineral-rich environment. Bringing the surreal impression of the rust-colored waterfall in the wilderness to a close, the traveler's vehicle continues rolling onward, opening the way toward the next unique natural wonders. The fiery red sandstone hues, shimmering beneath the dark water, sculpt the mesmerizing appearance of Ellicala Falls amid Blackwater Canyon. The first cascade surges from a height of 15 feet, pouring tannic acid-rich water directly into the ancient rocky chasm below, to weave a masterpiece of flowing water that is both haunting and magnificent. Over geological ages, the swirling force of the water has eroded the sandstone slabs into a whirling foam pool, resembling an eternal amber vortex. The kinetic energy carries gravel and pebbles that continuously polish the natural rock basin, transforming the movement of the current into a fantastical optical dance that captivates every beholder. Enveloping the damp chasm is a grove of ancient Appalachian sugar maples, casting shade throughout the year. The maple canopy catches the fine mist rising from the base of the falls, then bursts into blazing shades of yellow and orange each autumn, creating a magnificent contrasting backdrop against the dark, moss-covered rocks. As night descends over the cascading falls, the agile southern flying squirrel begins to emerge, leaping from branch to branch among decaying tree trunks. Its large, round eyes and flexible gliding membrane allow this nocturnal creature to hunt effortlessly amid the dense maple canopy, adding a vivid touch of life to the pristine wilderness. As the hypnotic motion of Ellicala's swirling waters comes to an end, the journey once again opens the way for travelers to seek out the next unique natural wonders. A ribbon of emerald silk winding freely through the limestone valley shapes the peaceful appearance of the Greenbrier River in eastern West Virginia. Stretching more than 170 miles from Pocahontas County to its confluence with the New River, this crystal-clear waterway proudly maintains its status as one of the longest naturally free-flowing, undammed rivers on the East Coast. Running along the water's edge is the nearly 80-mile-long Greenbrier River Trail, converted from an old railroad line. The flat, tree-shaded path offers an ideal journey for cycling and walking, leading travelers through historic wooden bridges and tunnels piercing pristine limestone mountains. Towering protectively over the alluvial banks are giant American sycamores, their mottled white-gray bark resembling an ink wash painting. Their massive root systems penetrate deep into the alluvial soil, helping stabilize the sloping banks, while their lush green canopies spread outward, casting cool shade across the mirror-like tranquil water. Basking on decaying logs bobbing along the shoreline are northern map turtles with fantastically patterned shells. These shy reptiles take advantage of the oxygen-rich water and abundant supply of snails to thrive and reproduce, adding an ancient sense of tranquility to one of the cleanest aquatic ecosystems in the United States. The wheels roll across the final wooden bridge as the afternoon sunlight gradually fades over the peaceful water, clearing the way for the veil of night mist to envelop the next mysterious gorges beckoning ahead. The convergence of historical layers and the rhythm of contemporary artistic life illuminates the soul of Buckhannon, a town along the banks of a gentle river in Upshur County. This cultural center captivates travelers with the historic Georgian red brick complex of West Virginia Wesleyan College, built beginning in 1890, standing majestically amid tree-lined avenues. The deepest legendary imprint originates from the giant ancient sycamore tree that once served as a sheltering home for the Pringle brothers in the 18th century. That historic hollow tree sheltered the footsteps of the first pioneers, becoming an immortal symbol of resilient survival amid the untamed frontier. Stretching across the fertile alluvial valley is the fragrant realm of ripe, wild strawberries. The vibrant harvest season became the inspiration for the creation of the renowned annual Strawberry Festival, coloring street corners red with exuberant festivities and the pure, sweet flavor of the land. Perched and singing loudly among the canopies of ancient oaks is the wood thrush, with a melodious voice resembling the sound of a flute. The clear, resonant symphony of this small creature stirs the town's tranquil atmosphere, blending with the ringing of the college bells to create a uniquely elegant soundscape unlike any other. The historic streetlights glow as the embers of sunset descend over the peaceful river valley, clearing the way for the wilderness winds across the next rugged mountain slopes to sound their invitation. Located at the confluence of the Elk and Kanawha rivers, the capital city of Charleston asserts its position as the political heart of West Virginia. This administrative center stands out with its imposing classical revival state capitol, proudly crowned by a magnificent dome gilded in 23-karat gold and reflected in the tranquil waters below. The city's prosperous past originated from 19th century salt and chemical mining operations along the river basin. That abundant legacy laid a solid foundation for contemporary developments, notably the bustling Capital Market Farmers Market, which attracts visitors from far and wide to explore and enjoy. Shading the historic avenues is a magnificent population of tulip trees. Their yellow-orange blossoms rise among lush green foliage to greet the sunlight, casting refreshing shade over the riverbanks and softening the concrete contours of the city's urban buildings. Gliding through the Riverside Park is the northern cardinal with its brilliant red plumage. The dazzling red color and clear, ringing song of this symbolic state bird illuminate the dew-laden morning, creating a marvelous note of harmony between wild nature and the city. The gilded dome recedes into the distance as the overpass lights begin to glow, opening the way for the traveler toward the next mysterious lands waiting ahead. The fertile plain beside a bend in the Ohio River embraces the elegant character of the city of Huntington in Cabell County. This gateway to western West Virginia creates a distinctive visual impression through its orderly grid layout, opening up a magnificent harmony between the gentle river and the vast expanses of greenery surrounding it. The most magnificent natural landscape highlight is the Ritter Park Complex, located on the hillside south of the city. This tree-shaded landscape preserve is renowned for its fragrant rose garden, which has received national awards, where vibrant flower beds bloom beside a winding stream and shaded stone-paved paths. Along the water's edge lies the breezy Harris Riverfront Park, overlooking the vast Ohio River basin. The city's historic character extends through the campus of Marshall University, founded in 1837, with its red brick academic buildings shaded by century-old oak trees. The lush green academic setting blends with the bustling character of Pullman Square, weaving a harmonious portrait of life between tranquility and prosperity. The distant whistle of a train gradually fades into the twilight over the peaceful river, giving way to the night stars that guide the traveler toward the next fascinating lands. Vast apple orchards stretching across the Shenandoah Basin create a lush green mantle embracing the city of Martinsburg in Berkeley County. Fertile alluvial soil combined with underground limestone springs keeps the vegetation here thriving throughout all 4 seasons, distinctly separated from the bustle of the commercial routes surrounding the valley. Since 1866, the Baltimore and Ohio Roundhouse has stood prominently, displaying its rare arched red brick structure. The enormous turntable inside once coordinated hundreds of steam locomotives, transforming this place into an indispensable industrial heart of the railroad during the era of industrial expansion. Few would expect a peaceful street corner to preserve the childhood home of the renowned spy Belle Boyd. It houses numerous documents about the woman who secretly delivered battle maps to a Confederate general, offering a dramatic historical perspective in the heart of the old city. Each autumn, the entire region fills with a sweet fragrance thanks to the Mountain State Apple Harvest Festival. Local residents and visitors take to the streets to enjoy baked apple pies and fresh juice, transforming the harvest season into a lively cultural celebration filled with laughter. The sound of the night train whistle tears through the valley mist, like a summons urging travelers onward to cross the towering slopes of the next destination. At the foot of the rolling Allegheny Mountains, naturally erupting sulfur mineral springs create a rich vitality for the town of White Sulphur Springs in Greenbrier County. The cool highland climate throughout the year blends with the endless green of the valley grasslands, transforming this region into a sought-after health restoration paradise for more than 2 centuries. The most luxurious symbol is the Greenbrier Resort, featuring magnificent neoclassical architecture built beginning in 1778. The pristine white main building proudly rises amid vibrant flower gardens, having welcomed dozens of generations of presidents and high society to enjoy world-class therapeutic mineral baths. The most astonishing secret lies more than 70 feet beneath the resort, an underground nuclear bunker for the United States Congress. This fortified defense facility, built during the Cold War, was kept secret for 3 decades, featuring a blast-resistant steel door weighing dozens of tons and an enormous intact residential system. Surrounding the valley is the renowned Old White TPC Golf Course Complex, which once hosted the International Ryder Cup tournament. Lush green fairways wind along the banks of Howard Creek, creating spectacular playing lines where elite golfers compete while breathing in the fresh air of the pristine forest. Warm vapor from the mineral springs gradually dissolves into the cool mountain breeze, signaling a new journey waiting ahead. The alluvial promontory jutting out where the Kanawha River merges with the vast Ohio River has shaped a prime location for the town of Point Pleasant in Mason County. This riverside community in western West Virginia possesses an expansive waterscape dotted with fertile floodplains and vast forests. The peaceful rhythm of life here carries the rustic character of a land rich in layers of folklore and cultural heritage. The historic Battle of Point Pleasant in 1774 at 2 Endy Way State Park is regarded as the opening shot of the American Revolution. The Mansion House, built in 1796, proudly preserves artifacts from the pioneer era of clearing the wilderness and establishing settlements. The 1967 Silver Bridge collapse, intertwined with a mysterious story, has been deeply etched into the unforgettable memory of local residents. The bronze statue of the legendary creature known as the Mothman stands prominently in the town center, attracting thousands of visitors who come to explore during each festival. The River Museum and sightseeing boat trips offer a vivid perspective on the golden age of steamboats. The route along the riverfront mural wall faithfully recreates every resilient chapter in the history of the entire region. The surface of the Ohio River turns golden beneath the brilliant sunset, as the deep, warm whistle of a freight train begins to echo through the slowly descending night. The journey exploring the legendary land and river heritage of Mason County officially comes to an end, ready to welcome new destinations. Piercing the skyline of Grant and Pendleton counties, North Fork Mountain is a ridge stretching more than 31.1 miles, formed from the hard Tuscarora Quartzite Formation. Millions of years of geological folding lifted the mountain's western slope into a sheer wall nearly 3,281 feet high, creating one of the most spectacular rocky ridgelines in the eastern United States. The mountain lies entirely within the driest rain shadow on the east coast, as moisture-laden clouds from the west are blocked by the neighboring Allegheny crest. The arid climate and relentless gusting winds turn the summit into a high-altitude semi-desert, where twisted and stunted red pine trees cling tenaciously to cracks in the rock. Running along the edge of the sheer drop is the North Fork Mountain Trail, stretching 23.6 miles and repeatedly ranked among the most beautiful ridgetop trekking routes in the United States. The trail has absolutely no natural water sources, forcing those who attempt it to carry their own survival water in exchange for sweeping views over the deep valley below. The most dramatic geological highlight is Chimney Rocks, where quartzite towers rise straight into the sky like gigantic stone teeth. This is also hunting territory for ospreys and golden eagles, where powerful wings ride raging thermal currents that tear across the sky. As the Great Sandstone Wall recedes behind us, the vehicle of Wanderlust immediately roars into acceleration, cutting through the wind and charging fiercely toward the next magnificent wonder. An elevation of nearly 3,000 feet on the slopes of East River Mountain creates a cool, year-round climate for the city of Bluefield in Mercer County. This southernmost location in the state of West Virginia is known as the Cool City because summer temperatures rarely reach intensely hot levels. The landscape of a winding valley between endless hillsides brings a peaceful charm to the entire region. The development of the Norfolk and Western Railway in the late 19th century transformed this place into one of the busiest coal distribution centers. The First National Bank building and rows of red brick commercial buildings still stand prominently as evidence of the economic golden age. The classical mansions in the Country Club Historic District fully preserve the marks of the former prosperity of mine owners. The tradition of serving free lemonade whenever the temperature rises above 90 degrees F reflects the distinctive hospitality of the local community. Pinnacle Rock State Park, with its enormous sandstone outcrop, opens up an appealing climbing environment amid the green forest. Mitchell Stadium comes alive in the fall when classic football games attract thousands of fans. The late afternoon light descends over the valley, highlighting the undulating skyline of the blue-green mountains before the street lights shine brightly. The peaceful memories of this highland city in Mercer County officially come to an end, opening the way for the next new stages of exploration. The fertile valley, nestled beneath the shadow of the Appalachian Mountains, creates a central setting for the city of Princeton in Mercer County. This administrative center in southern West Virginia possesses a mild climate, blending the quiet rhythm of urban life with pristine nature. Lush green hillsides stretch around every street corner, creating a peaceful feeling for visitors who stop here. The development era of the Virginian Railway in the early 20th century transformed this place into a bustling coal transportation hub. The imposing Art Deco-style Mercer County Courthouse still stands prominently as a long-established symbol of authority. The Princeton Railroad Museum fully preserves historic rail cars and artifacts that evoke the prosperous industrial era. The artistic Mercer Street bustles, with numerous cozy cafes, independent art studios, and vibrant murals. The Chuck Mathena Center, with its modern auditorium, continuously hosts theatrical performances serving the cultural life of local residents. The white cascading waters at the nearby Brush Creek Falls Preserve open up a refreshing outdoor setting through the forest. The deep red sunset colors the historic rooftops as the quiet night descends over the peaceful mountain valley. This stop, rich in artistic identity and railroad heritage in Mercer County, officially comes to an end, ready to welcome the next destination. The flood control dam project carried out by the United States Army Corps of Engineers in the 1970s gave birth to the vast waters known as Beech Fork State Park. The gentle blue ribbon covering 720 acres stretches peacefully across the boundary between Wayne and Cabell counties. That bold intervention to tame nature ultimately created an immense glass-like mirror of water, silently embracing the rolling hills. A network of nearly 300 campsites woven along the water's edge has turned this place into one of the most sought-after outdoor recreation paradises. Flickering firelight blending with the sound of paddles brushing the waves skillfully fills the landscape with a rare rhythm of peaceful daily life. Dense secondary forest patiently extends its branches to cast shade over the tents, completely erasing the boundary between comfort and wilderness. Nestled in the peaceful reaches of Monroe County, Mon Cove Lake State Park resembles a tranquil emerald gem, hidden among the rolling hills of the southeast. At the heart of the entire preserve lies a lake spanning nearly 150 acres, where the waters of Devil Creek are held back to form a vast mirror reflecting the blue sky above. There is no thunderous roar of waterfalls or breathless danger from deep, rugged gorges. Instead, this place captivates travelers with its gentle rhythm and a stillness completely removed from the hurried pace of everyday life. Paddles glide softly, parting the crystal-clear water as kayaks drift peacefully through sheltered coves, shaded by old oaks and evergreen pines. Nestled among the rolling hills of Raleigh County, Little Beaver State Park emerges as a gentle green oasis in southern West Virginia. At the heart of the preserve lies a beautiful lake spanning nearly 20 acres, formed by a sturdy stone dam built during the Great Depression. The landscape here is not rugged or harsh, but instead opens its arms to travelers with the poetic beauty of pristine forest canopies reflected upon the still water. Along the trail winding around the hillsides, travelers seem to be guided into a corridor filled with the delicate fragrance of rhododendrons and the whispering sound of pine trees. The calm water is a paradise for gently gliding paddle boats, stirring the reflections of clouds and sky amid the murmuring mountain breeze. All the noise of everyday life gives way completely to a rare sense of stillness and peace. In the dense thickets along the shoreline, North American beavers tirelessly build their own world with extraordinary skill. Spreading across nearly 6,000 acres within the rugged valley of Mercer County, Camp Creek State Park and Forest unveils an immense natural curtain of hardwood forest. Camp Creek winds like a ribbon of silver through ancient layers of rock, punctuated by Mash Fork Falls and Campbell Falls, where white foam cascades amid moss-covered stones. The deep basin terrain keeps the air here cool, moist, and refreshing, sweeping away the suffocating atmosphere of city life. More than 35 miles of trails crossing sandstone slopes lead solitary travelers deep into a symphony of mountain winds and murmuring streams. Beneath the canopy of old oaks and ancient maples, the scent of damp leaves mingles with fresh wood, creating the rustic essence of West Virginia's vast forests. Each open stretch along the creek becomes an ideal place to pitch a tent and listen to the primal rhythm of the natural world as night falls. Amid open woodland and streamside vegetation, flocks of wild turkeys move swiftly as they forage across the rustling layer of dry leaves. Their iridescent bronze plumage and vigilant gait turn them into elusive, confident shadows that appear and vanish through the forest. Their deep flocking calls echo through the morning mist, like an affirmation of the proud vitality of this native bird. As the setting sun scatters shimmering patches of light across the waterfalls before sinking into silence, the traveler's soul seems cleansed and made clear. Located on the western slope of Cheat Mountain in Randolph County, Cumberbow State Forest is one of the highest elevation forests in West Virginia. Spreading across more than 9,000 acres at elevations above 3,000 feet, the area is exposed year-round to frigid winds and snowstorms that blanket the forest canopy in white. The steep valleys and deep gorge carved by Mill Creek create an isolated landscape, separated from industrial noise and preserving its pristine wilderness. Hidden beneath the dense canopy of red spruce forest, rustic log cabins transport travelers back to a minimalist way of life. A trail strewn with moss-covered boulders leads to Mill Creek Falls, where white water plunges into the silent gorge below. The earthy scent of pine resin mingles with the icy moisture in the air, bringing an overwhelming sense of purity to the mind. Within this damp environment, the Cheat Mountain salamander, a rare species endemic to the Appalachian region, quietly survives beneath layers of decaying wood. The name formed by combining the four counties of Cabell, Wayne, Lincoln, and Mingo shelters one of the most intact stretches of forest in the lower Ohio River region. Cab-Way-Lingo unfolds in a dense expanse of hardwood green where the terrain is carved into narrow ravines tracing the course of 12-Pole Creek. There are no lofty peaks rising proudly into the clouds. The appeal here lies in the sense of descending ever deeper, drawing travelers gradually into a cool, shaded basin. The imprint of human hands from nearly a century ago still remains in the squared sandstone blocks of the camp structures built during the Great Depression. Nestled among the gentle folds of the Ridge and Valley Mountains, the historic town of Berkeley Springs in Morgan County radiates the refined charm of a renowned resort destination. This northernmost region is famous for its underground mineral springs, flowing at a steady temperature of 74 degrees Fahrenheit year-round through the beautiful limestone valley. The heart of its heritage is Berkeley Springs State Park, considered America's first public therapeutic spa. It still preserves the open-air stone bath known as George Washington's Bath, where the founding president repeatedly soaked to restore his physical strength in the crystal-clear, mineral-rich waters. Dominating the hillside is Berkeley Springs Castle, built from sandstone quartzite in the late 19th century. The stately, ancient fortress stands amid dense forest canopies, creating a magnificent historic landmark overlooking the Roman baths beneath the town. The pure water source nourishes the annual Berkeley Springs International Water Tasting, attracting numerous experts from around the world. The fresh, wholesome water flowing through natural geological layers has elevated the town's reputation into one of the world's foremost capitals of pure mineral water. The warm vapor rising from the spring gradually fades as the sunset descends over the moss-covered cliffs, clearing the way for the night winds to carry explorers toward the next fascinating land.